Hello everyone and welcome to Club at 22, the Rangers podcast and to Club Live on our main channel. Yes, we have managed to, as you will probably have seen through various tweets and wee videos that I've done, we've managed to wrestle it back from the grips of the pesky hackers, and we are back on our original channel, on our main channel, and it's good to be back. It's really nice to be back. So I am Scott Carney. Joining me tonight is, first of all, Alistair Pearson. Ali, many happy returns, mate. You were the big 4-0 on Wednesday, mate. How's the back? How's the hips? You feeling all right?
Happy birthday to yourself, Carney, who is the day after me as well, along with about 100 other birthdays in June, between all of friends, families, etc. But I don't feel any different, to be fair. Like I said, when you come round with the nice gift, Carney, from yourself, that was a very kind gesture from yourself. That was a
and then your mom trumped me.
Yeah, my mum got me. I've got a Rangers top with McCoist in the back, number 9, who's my hero growing up. And I had it's my top from when I was a wee boy, and my niece wore it to her first Rangers game in 2019, and I haven't seen the top since. I thought she'd lost it, and it just so happens they found it. And long story short, one of Tyler's that comes into work is very friendly with Alan McCoist, and he got to sign my first ever Alan McCoist jersey. So, and it's framed, so it'll go alongside your jersey as well, Carney, and I've got one with Andy Gorham as well. So, yes, it'll sit there nicely. So I have to put them up in the wall in the spare room. But yeah, no, a lot of people wishing me happy birthday and stuff, and I know they did it to you as well, Carney. But yeah, it's been and gone. Wait for dinner tomorrow night. Obviously, I'm around to your house tomorrow for your wee man's birthday as well. But
yeah.
Yes, I will enjoy 40, I think, as Mr. Haymarch and a few other ones in the 40 Club say that your life begins at 40. So we'll find out.
just to make you feel better, mate. That's all that is, just to make you feel better. The top from your mum's obviously a belter, considering mine signed by Robin Proper, mate. So I probably didn't do too well in the selection of player I got it signed. I'm joking, everybody. It's not signed by Proper. And I told everybody beforehand that Vengeance had a face this summer, and that the hackers would feel the wrath of this man. And on only his second appearance on this podcast, since his return, we are back. We have the channel in our full control. Everything is going as normal. It's not a coincidence. It's John Wick. It's Mr. Scott Gemmell. Scotia, how are you, man?
Evening, Carney. Evening, Ali. Evening, everyone. Yeah, it's good to have the original channel back, because it's one of those ones where there's an awful lot of content sitting there. You know, that's we might need to look at sort of trying to archive that in some other shape or form, because if it happens again and we lose it, it would be pretty gutting, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm good, Carney. A bit of a hectic week, as I was saying just as before we started. And I did mention to you when you two were speaking in the pub about coming back on the podcast, I did mention to you that I might not have as much time to kind of do any prep work and stuff. So I would like to inform everyone that this week I have done hardly any prep work. So we'll see where that takes us. I apologise in advance if I start mumbling along and trying to kind of come up with responses to any questions, etc. But it's been a bit of a hectic week, so I've not really managed to keep up to date with everything as much as I'd like to. I think I'm still kind of, to be honest, still in a wee bit of pre-season kind of mode myself.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, me too, mate, to an extent as well. That's why we only do one pod a week when it comes down to summer, but because we like to take a break from it. I think it's good to have a break from it from time to time and not constantly just kind of every time there's a wee bit of news come on or a potential transfer rumour, just try and leave it all for kind of one show. Just kind of how we do things here. Obviously, as soon as we get back into the season, it'll be full steam ahead. But yes, no, I get it, mate. I fully get it. It's been a hell of a busy week. It really has. See, Ali's birthday, my birthday, my wee man's birthday tomorrow. So there's been a lot happening. Jim Sloan becoming a member. Jim, I know you've been a member for a long time, mate, and you've kind of probably had to break your outstanding so many months and as being a member, but it's good to see you back, mate. I really do appreciate it. Steve O'Gers as well, thank you very much for coming back on board. We do very much appreciate it, and yeah, we are very much back in action. And you will have seen that we've launched a new channel. We've made something good come of something pretty terrible in terms of us getting hacked, and we've launched a Club at 22 Off the Pitch. And the first video, to give you an idea of what's happening, is now up on that channel, where I dropped off Ali's present to him for his 40th on Wednesday. Yes. And it's just a wee bit of an insight. We'll just show you a different way of how we live and what we do together, and it's sometimes nice for you to see that we are actually pals. We do actually kick about with each other, and we talk to each other. We don't just sit in our own respective rooms and talk over this platform. We do actually go out with each other, so it'd be good for you all to kind of see that as well. So yeah, it's something that we're going to try, see if a kind of more real life look behind the scenes, if you like, of the podcast. So yeah, Club at 22 Off the Pitch. If you want to check that out, the link for that channel is in the description for this podcast. Let's get to Rangers things. First things first, if you're here to hear about David Murray's releasing a book or his interview with Ewan Cameron, you're very much on the wrong podcast. David Murray's a snake and he's a liar, and I've not really got much interest in giving him any sort of publicity, even though even just mentioning it probably gives him a slight bit of publicity, but we're not interested. None of us are interested. I've not even listened to what he had to say to Ewan Cameron because I really could not care less. He sold us absolutely down the river, and don't let him tell you otherwise. It is simple as that for me. Let's discuss the first signing, I suppose, under the new regime. Russell Martin's first signing was confirmed as Max. Is it Aarons or Aarons? What are we saying?
I'm saying Aarons.
I think it's Aarons. Scotia.
Did he not say his name was Aarons when he was? I'm sure I listened to a wee bit of Heart and Hand this week, and I'm sure I heard David Edgar mention that the player himself pronounces it Aarons. Yeah,
Aarons.
But I'll probably, you know what it's like with Rangers names. I mean, how many names did Helander have? Or like variations of the pronunciation.
Tavernier. Tavernier.
Yes.
Nicky used to say Tavernier and Tavernier in the same sentence, and I don't know if it was just to cover all bases. So Max Aarons, then we'll say. I don't know. I honestly have got no idea. But it's Max Aarons. I'll do Max Aarons because I no doubtly that's where my head will go to, but I think it is Aarons. So we'll soon find out, I suppose. But yeah, confirmed as a first signing, if you like, in inverted commas, after it's a kind of years-long loan deal. He's came in, this is Russell Martin's first signing. Ali, what's your reaction to this initial signing? Do you class this as a statement signing?
I think he's going to go straight into the first team. I don't think he's here as a squad player, so he'll be here as a first team player. Obviously, there's not an option to buy in it, so it'll be interesting when we come to the end of the season what happens. But yeah, is it a statement signing? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's a good signing. I think he ticks the boxes in terms of what we're looking for. He's got the right profile. We're looking to strengthen the back line desperately first before we move up the park. You can see from the guys we've been linked at that he's looking to do the back line first and move up the park potentially. So him, right back. As I said last week, if he was firing for Bournemouth and doing well in the Premiership, we wouldn't be anywhere near this boy. Yeah. He's coming to Rangers to try and kickstart his career. That's what he's here for. And if he kickstarts his career here, like I said last week, and wins trophies along the way and doesn't come back here next season, I don't really care. I'll be happy because he's won trophies. So yeah, he'll look at it as a springboard. He's playing for a team that needs to win every week. We're going to be in Europe as well, hopefully. So yeah, is it a statement signing? I don't think so. But I think in terms of a signing, he'll go straight into the first team. I don't know what you class a statement signing in terms of a guy that we've maybe all heard of, a kind of glamour type name slightly. I don't know.
Most people are going to have heard of Max Aarons, but I'd imagine most people have heard of him.
Most people have heard of them, but have they seen him week in, week out? Have they really paid attention?
We only played he played about 4 times last year.
I know.
Hard to see him week in, week out.
Yeah, so if folk really paid attention to him, unless you watch the English league down the road, probably not, to be honest. So from what I've seen of him in YouTube clips, and I mean, everybody looks bloody brilliant in YouTube clips apart from us.
Apart from us.
Yeah, I think he ticks the boxes. I was happy to see him. He's, as I said last week, he's athletic. He's happy to take the ball as well. He's comfortable on the ball too, and he fits, I think, the way Russell Martin wants to play. And Russell Martin has had him at Norwich before as well, in terms of, I think Russell Martin was a player when he was there too, so he's worked with him before. So, I think it's a very good signing for Rangers going forward.
Scotia, what do you think it means in terms of the signing? Obviously, I can't really class it as a statement signing because it is loan. It is a loan. There is no real option. There's no option to buy or obligation to buy. Ali's right when he says that he's coming here very much to try and kickstart his career. So you would imagine, even from the interview that I've seen him with on RTV, he's making it pretty clear that he's kind of ready to go. But it's a right back, and we all know who plays right back, everybody's favourite whipping boy in terms of James Tavernier. What do you think this means for Tav? Do you think there is the potential for Tavernier to move into centre half? I don't think there's many Rangers fans that are too enamoured by that idea. What do you make of the fact that our first signing is indeed a right back? Is that a coincidence, or is it just a bit of a cleaning of the slate maybe by Russell Martin?
No, definitely not. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I kind of briefly mentioned this last week when we were speaking, that I did think perhaps last season we did have an eye on bringing certain players that were in to kind of start phasing Cav out the team, because he is coming to the kind of later age in his career. He's only got the 1 year left on his contract. So I don't really see us offering him an extension to that contract. So we definitely do need to do that. With Aaron's, however we want to pronounce it, I've already noticed we've done it, changed the name about 2 or 3 times while we've been discussing this. With him coming in, it definitely gives much needed competition, because obviously, again, Sterling got that injury. We can't rely on Sterling, to put it simply, which is unfortunate, because he has shown promise at certain stages when he's been playing. But he's coming in. He's coming here to do a job. He's coming here to push Tav. Does it mean that Tav gets played in maybe a more central position? Aaron's been the more out-and-out wing-back type player, because, as I mentioned last week, Tav did seem to play pretty well in centre-half when he was sort of forced to do so last season. But I think it's more a situation of getting this player in to, properly begin phasing Tav out the team. I believe Tav's been a brilliant servant to us. Yes, I would have liked to have him to have lifted more with us during his time here, but I still think he's contributed massively to us. And then bringing Aaron's in is a good first step, I think. And I'm hoping as well, this type of signing, I agree with Ali and yourselves, I don't think it's a statement signing as such, but I'm hoping he can come in and contribute similar to what Cherny did, what Sima did, what Tillman did in their loan spells. And then ideally, if he does contribute really well, we can hopefully manage to keep him, sign him permanently. And that could have us sorted going forward for the next few seasons.
My only reservation with that is if he's going to have a really good season here, the chances are someone in England would take a punt on him, and then they'll offer him a wage that we won't be able to compete with, because that's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? But as Ali says there, that if he's part of a league title winning squad, then thank you for the best year you could have possibly gave us, and making a move on from there, especially if he's going to contribute and make a big contribution to us being successful. I think there's potential for him. I think it's obviously hard to be fully excited by it based on how last season went for him. It does feel a little bit to me like not injury prone one, but because he's not played a lot of football, it's slightly teetering on the but if we can keep him fit kind of thing, then thank you very much, Alan. That is very much appreciated, mate. A 40th birthday pint, Ali. That's a hell of an expensive pint, Ali. 10 quid. I suppose I don't even know where are you going for dinner on Saturday, mate? And maybe that's maybe it might be a tenner. Then
I was going to say I'll probably get 1 pint for that there. Aye. No, thanks for that, Al. Much appreciated.
It might be. No, thank you, Alan. Very much appreciated. Where was I? In terms of like, obviously he's not played a lot of football, but he looks fit, he looks physical, he looks like everything that we've probably been asking for our kind of right back. And I suppose with James Tavernier being there, would I want to see him at centre half? No, I don't want to see Tavernier at centre half. Do I think Tav's going to leave? Again, no, I don't think Tavernier's going to leave. No doubt we've signed Max Aarons, whoever we're pronouncing it, and he'll play left back because, again, it's the most Rangers thing to do, isn't it? Like, let's sign a right back and play him at left back, right? Perfect. But no, I mean, I would like to see him push Tavernier. I would like to see him take over that jersey. I think we all know, and all due respect to Tavernier, that he's not a spring chicken anymore. He is getting slower. He has lost pace. He isn't contributing as much as he used to. So it can only, time waits for no man in that regard. Again, I'll agree with Scotia as well that Tav has been a great servant for this club, and yeah, he should have won more. Yes, I do get that, but he was playing with some amount of dross at times. But I think Tav will be one of those ones that, well, I was about to say, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Maybe we'll be okay because Max Aarons will come in and hit the ground running. That's what you need to hope for anyway, I suppose. But yeah, I wouldn't see Tav going anywhere, but this seems like a very good bit of competition for him to try and see if he can keep up with the likes of Aarons. So yeah, good luck to him. But Ali, I don't want to go full Rangers Twitter. We've signed one loan signing, mate, and I'm like, that's really not enough. Now I'm going right, because everything, I mean, I don't mind that things are quiet in terms of solid, interesting players, because I like when Rangers do their business quietly. However, we are now at the point where we're going, the football is very, very close. We are going to need to sign more players and pretty quickly.
We play a game of football a week on Sunday. Yeah, Ibrox against Bruges.
Bruges.
Against Bruges, that will all be going along to Ibrox. We thought we were going along to Ibrox to see some of these new players. There will be one there. I had Cameron. I know Cameron was injured. I did see him actually. Rangers did a 10-minute training video on YouTube, and I did see him standing at the side of the pitch watching. So I don't think he's maybe out for long. But yeah, I thought this week we would have seen another player. I know we've been linked with Cody for Leicester, but I think he's away out in, has he been a pundit or something at the moment, out in under 21s or something? He's out there, so he comes back. We've been linked with him, so potentially might be in a door next week. Owen Beck as well, who was at Blackburn last year. I think he's still contracted to Liverpool. Another one we're potentially looking at too, and the striker up front, which he'll probably come on to do. So I'd like to think next week we'll start to see signs. We need to see them, because you look at what we've got there, there's not much. And you look at the potential players that may be leaving Ibrox as well, especially with this Panathinaikos game in the horizon. We need players in desperately. I was hoping by the time we played Panathinaikos that we had, excluding the two we've got in, another three on top of that. I was looking for about 5 players before we played that game, which might still happen. There's still 3-4 weeks, whatever it is, before that game. So I seen Rangers actually emailed me today saying they're whipping 30 quid out my account in, is it a week's time or something? So you would have got your email for that, folks. But yeah, it's I'm not panicking, Carney. Trust the process, as I always say. But I expect to see some signings next week. If there's no signings next week, then I may slightly panic the following week. But I'm expecting something next week.
I think you're being too optimistic there, mate. I'm not going to lie. Scotia, you're always the head of reason amongst the three of us, mate, when we're having a chat about these kind of things. Where are you at on it? You at, is it DEFCON 4? Is that what you call it? Are you there yet? Should we begin to think, right, what is actually going on here? And quickly, sorry, David Todd, member for 33 months. Fantastic, mate. Thank you so much for sticking around. And just to reassure everybody, by the way, as well, and I know it's not about money and that's not what I mean, but all the support that you show the podcast, even during the time that we were hacked, everything has still went to the podcast. There's been no funny business in that regard, so we're all good. So again, 33 months listening to us is just, honestly, it's like a jail sentence, but well done. Scotia, your take on the lack of signings?
I think I mentioned last week that I would, if we got to this stage tonight, I'd start to be getting a wee bit worried. And I think I do. I think I am slightly. I've just got that. You've just got that wee fear. But what I would say, and you might discuss it, we come on to other things later on in the show, is some of the stuff that was mentioned by, in particular, Parag Murat during the EGM as we interview that he done. They seem to like, and obviously what you pick up from hearing from Leeds fans and things like that, they tend to like to do their business pretty behind the scenes, which is all well and good, but that doesn't stop me from getting a wee bit antsy, because as Ali mentions, this game is fast approaching for Panathinaikos, and ideally you want the players in as early as possible so that the team have got time to sort of get to know each other before being thrown in at the deep end. But starting to get a wee bit antsy, but I'm kind of hopeful, like Ali, that next week we'll start to see a wee bit more in terms of things coming through. And what I like at the minute as well is we seem to be linked with defenders at the moment. You know, that seems to be the key priority for Martin.
Yeah,
building from the back. I personally think there's maybe an argument that we can go one step further back in the lineup and look to develop there. Not really heard anything around the goalkeeping situation, if we're looking at anyone or anything. But no, I quite like the building from the back and going forward, although I think the striking option is becoming a wee bit interesting, particularly what you'll talk about later, and you know, some of the links of players moving away that we've been hearing about recently.
I'll move straight to that, Scotia. Obviously, it was quite reported. It was widely reported this week that Igaman had a bid rejected by Rangers for around €17 million, but reports say no. Also, you've reports saying that no official offer was made. Ali, Chris Jack quoted that the player is likely that he will move on this window. If he goes, right, Dessers goes, Tierney is also will be back to his parent club. That's over 60 goals last season that we do not have, that we would not have in the squad currently. This is why I'm getting a wee bit nervous, I think, on the edge of my chair about the lack of signings that we're making. If we are building from the back, great, but you're still going to need somebody up front to score goals. I think Igaman looks like he'll go for, I'd imagine, 15, 16 million with serious add-ons included in terms of sell-on fees and bonus fees, performance fees, all that kind of thing. It looks like that's the kind of rumour that Rangers are kicking about for, that sort of money, which is fantastic business. I'm not going to take away anything from that. But again, they three are away. If Dessers goes, Igaman goes. Tierney's obviously back at his parent club. 60 goals gone that we didn't have in the squad. We don't have the squad now that we did have last season. It would leave us needing, 2, possibly 3 strikers or forwards even. That's a big task. Sorry, Grant Sharp. Yeah. Thank you very much, Grant. That is very much appreciated, mate, genuinely. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Grant.
Tommy Walker as well for becoming a new member. Really appreciate it, guys. Honestly, thank you so much.
Yeah, Igaman's going. They'll just see if it's not Lille, somebody else will come in through. He's going. I think he'll probably maybe want to go in terms of his agents and stuff. It's probably a good league for him to go to France as well. So I think he'll go. If it is for round about 15 million plus whatever it is. I know some folk think maybe we should get more, but I think that's good business for a guy that cost us just over £1 million. In and out the team last season, hot and cold. It wasn't as if he was firing the whole season, if you think about it. I think he's got great potential, but we can't turn down bids like that. We can't, especially when we want to reinvest it into the team this season in terms of rebuilding. Thanks very much, Andy Hillis.
Thank you, Andy.
So, yeah, it looks like he's going to go. Dessers in AEK Athens, the fee, I think they're kind of playing hardball over at the time, Rangers. So You'd think that might happen as well. So we're only really left with my pal Danilo, who looks absolutely shattered in pre-season at the moment. Every photo I see him, he looks like he's burst lying on the ground, which is good because Barry Ferguson said he was a lazy so-and-so last year. So it's good to see him put through his paces. Could he be a guy, Danilo, that Russell Martin could get something out of? I hope he can, because we've got nothing out Danilo so far. But we need to bring, if they need to go, I'd assume they'll be ready to press a button on a striker, Carney. I know we've been linked with a boy from Israel. Is it Tudjman or something? Scotia probably knows how you say his name, but I know they've been linked with him for reportedly €5 million. So if the two of them go, I expect Rangers to push a button on somebody and they'll come in quite quickly. But we need players, because you look at the top line. If we were playing Panathinaikos tomorrow, for instance, without those 2 strikers I mentioned, you're going with a top line of strap yourself in here, potentially Danilo through the middle, Ross McCausland on the right, and a Matondo or a Cortez on the left, which is quite frightening to say.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about building for the back, but the front line needs major surgery, especially if we're losing those two guys. So, yeah, like I say, I think they'll be ready to press a button on somebody, Carney. If they go, they have to replace them. We can't go into this qualifier with Danilo, and that's it. No chance. It would be suicide for me. But I trust the guys. I reckon they'll have a guy sitting there waiting to go as soon as they leave Rangers.
Yeah, Scotia. I mean, I think we're all can understand the business element in terms of selling Igaman. If the rumoured fees are to be believed, then that is what comes to fruition when he does leave. It does look like he's going to go in this window now. I say with Chris Jack reporting it, who tends to know. He does tend to know. But it's a wee bit of a gutter. I would have loved to have seen him for another year. He's got a long time on his contract, 4 years still left on it. I'd have loved to see him for another year. I don't think Rangers can turn down the amount of money that's been floated around for it. Lyndon B, thank you very much for becoming a member. Very much appreciated. Rangers can't really turn it down. But as I said, mate, there's 60 odd goals out of the squad that we would not have. That's serious recruitment needing done there.
Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, I think with the Igaman one, Rangers hold all the cards here. Like you say, he is contracted for a very long time. He's had his first kind of breakthrough season, if you want to say. But I'm completely like you. I would, if I'm being selfish, I would like to hold on to him for a wee bit longer. But the big caveat here is Rangers have been stung in the past for holding out for fees that we should have probably taken at the time. And it's easy to do because you see players and you want them to stay and play and you think you can get more out of them. You think you can maybe get a wee bit more. So I think Rangers need to be careful in how they approach this. I know there's quite a few other clubs interested by the sounds of things as well. So like I say, Rangers hold all the cards here over Igaman. And then obviously with Dessers as well, he's been like pretty heavily moving to Greece. I don't think we could lose both of them in quick succession, like yourself and Ali say, unless we've got a plan to replace them, because Danilo Cortez is our kind of attacking line. Not at the moment gives me the fear. Unless Russell Martin's able to show me something that has improved those players, that gives me the utter fear of them too, because they've not really shown it in a Rangers jersey so far. They've been far too injury prone. When they've come back, they've been inconsistent, to say the least. So a bit worried there in the striking aspects that the two of our strikers are potentially like on the way out. Because I think the Dessers one, I think I've not been on the pod for a while, but you guys know my thoughts on Dessers. I don't think he doesn't rub me the wrong way as much as everyone else. I don't think I can see the value in him a wee bit, but if we can get our money back,
because you stopped going to Ibrox last season, you're like, nah, I'm not going, lads. So can't use when you go back.
Quite probably. But if we can get our money back on him, then I think it does make sense. But then you're losing all these goals that he contributed last season. But you'd like to think in a team, you know, particularly in the Scottish Premiership, that any striker that we do bring in, you know, will have plenty of chance to prove themselves to be good. It's a wee bit concerned around the attacking lineups with the players going, but I think particularly the Dessers, make good business, and the Igaman one, I'm just worried that we make mistakes that we've made previously in holding out and then reaping the benefits.
I get that, mate. I do. I think that makes perfect sense. Steve O'Gers, thank you so much for the 10 quid, mate. Generally appreciate that so much. Amazing support, really is. I get it, mate. Because obviously Morelos is probably one that sticks out the most, that we should have really got money for Morelos. There's absolutely no doubt that we should have, and we didn't. So I can understand that. There's no guarantee, of course, that Igaman would have a good season, but I still think that there's enough to. We've seen enough from him to believe that he would be an asset for us by the end of next season as well. But it is a concern that we could be going into this friendly with Matondo, Danilo and McCausland as the front three. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go and watch that.
You throw Cifuentes into the starting lineup there as well.
I know, man. Like Cifuentes, Kieran Dowell, Ben Davies. Who else we got? Yilmaz is still here. There's there's plenty of them. There really is plenty of them, and yeah, I'd imagine there's plans in place. I do get that, but we are an impatient bunch as Rangers fans, and I would like to see stuff getting moving, especially if these guys are going to be leaving. Then it is Rangers need to do business wisely. I mean, we need to ask for.
Curry's comment there about Bertrami.
Bertrami as well. God, when you watch him again next season, I can't, lads. Honestly, I can't. I'm going, I can't do this. I hope not. Honestly, I really hope not. But yes, it's a real concern for me. Rangers need to be, if they are going to sell a man, the business needs to be good. It needs to be stacked in our favour in terms of getting the majority of that fee up front, and Rangers have to reinvest it immediately back into the squad because there's so much work to be done. There really is so much work. As Ali said, if we are heading into the qualifier with what we have, minus Igaman and Dessers, dearie me, that it will not be a fun watch, that's for sure. We'll move on to the EGM. That was earlier this week where we heard properly for the first time from Kavanagh and Marathi as they addressed the Rangers support that were there. We'll start with Kavanagh. Ali, 3 things pretty much he used to explain the why Rangers question. One of them, the fans, quoting 600 Rangers supporters clubs around the world, 400,000 strips sold the year before last. He quoted Ibrox as being our castle. It's a difficult place for people to come, and the competitions and the trophy opportunities. I know we say it all the time. I really liked how he addressed things. I really liked how he answered the question about the 20 million that they were investing. He's like, it absolutely is no benefit for us to tell you what we are going to do with that money because it weakens our position in the window. It's quite clear there's a balance here between a guy that has got a serious business head on and Marathi, who is clearly a footballing head or a sporting head, I would probably say more than anything else in terms of running a sporting organisation. But first off with Kavanagh, mate, what was your take on what he had to say? I know it's easy to say and I know it is all just words, but everything he said, I thought, yeah, that's a bit of, it was almost like a breath of fresh air, weirdly, about how he addressed it, what they're here for and what he plans to do with the club moving forward.
Yeah, they spoke well, and you knew they would speak well. They're proper businessmen, these guys. They're not Mickey Mouse guys. I know we're talking about David Murray earlier on, but they're proper business guys in terms of what they were saying. Quite interesting in terms of some of the questions. Are they here to make a quick buck? If you want to say the short term, they're not here for that. They made that perfectly clear that they're here for the long term. They have a vision with Rangers, what they want to do. They've got a clear passion for football, obviously, as well. Stuff out YouTube.
I haven't, David. No. I've tried, honestly, mate. I've tried to get the name.
That's the least our worries, to be honest.
That is the least our worries. We're going to have no strikers next week, mate. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, but no, I thought he spoke really well. He said all the things you want to hear. I know we touched there, Carney, and this 20 million folk asked, is that going to be used towards player transfers? Like he's going to come out and say, aye, all of it's getting used. They play their cards close to their chest, which is what you think they'll do. Did say probably won't hear from them as much going forward in terms of things are going all right. You won't hear from them. So, yeah, I liked everything they said. There wasn't anything negative I got from it at all, really. They basically said they're here and they want Rangers to ultimately start winning things on the pitch. That's what they want, which was music to my ears. They did say that they're not as patient, the same as us, but we may need a bit of patience because it just doesn't happen overnight. But they're here. They've got Rangers' best interest, and yeah, I'm excited for the future under them. I just think they're going to lead us in the right direction. Proper guys running a football club. They've obviously got Leeds as well in the background in terms of the other guy. What's his chops? What's his name again? Parati. So, yeah, in terms of what happened to Leeds, well run. Obviously, look where Leeds are now in terms of they've made their way up to the Premier League now. So it's it's exciting times, and yeah, I thought they talked well. I listened to the one in Rangers TV. I've listened to the EGM one, and yeah, it was all positives for me. I didn't see any negatives in it at all.
No, me neither. I think Scotia Ali just invented Parag Marathi's new name. I think he called him Parathi. So
Yes,
I mean, it's a good nickname. That, to be fair, it is a very good nickname. I was like, well, I'll let you have that one, mate. That was quite well done, joining the two names together. Scotia, yeah, Marathi did make a point of clearing his name as well. Marathi was getting called. He was like, no, it's Marathi, so he's made that pretty clear. But he's clearly a winner. I think you can see that. That's what he lives for. He lives for winning any sort of sport that he's involved with. Obviously, he's overseen the kind of sporting overhauls with the 49ers that I think he said was a decade. I think that was. He's been involved with that, which is a hell of an enterprise to be involved with for that amount of time. Because obviously the numbers, if anybody knows anything about American football, the numbers in American football are absolutely ridiculous. They really are. Quarterbacks on like 50 million a year and stuff like that. It's absolutely bonkers. But yeah, obviously, I thought he spoke very well as well. Obviously, he'd made reference to the fact that he's most recently been part of a sporting kind of overhaul at Leeds United. Wants to provide us with the best possible chance to compete in all competitions over a long period in time, as well as making the club self-sustainable again long term. It is clear, Scotia, this isn't a short-term bang money in, get out sort of deal for Marathi and Kavanagh. They are here to kind of dig their heels in and change the path of our football club as a whole, which to me, I can't see how there's a negative in that.
No, all the interviews that I've seen all came across very well. I was thoroughly impressed with it, with Marathi. One thing that I did like, the wee kind of thing he said, was that they're taking the blueprints from what they've learned elsewhere and using it for us, which is actually pretty good to hear, because we're not this first test case, as it were. They've had established patterns of how they've worked things in the past, and they've realised, right, this doesn't quite work. Obviously, there's going to be certain wee tweaks and nuances in Scottish football, but it does sound promising. Thought he came across very well. Similar way Kavanagh. I really liked, because if you recall last week, what I said is when the takeover first got announced, there was a slight wee bit of apprehension around things, and how's it going to affect me as a fan? Is it going to become unpriceable for me to go and do it? But from what I got from Kavanagh was that the fans will be front and centre for what they're wanting to do, which was the right buzzword for me. Now the proof's going to just be in the pudding, and we'll see how it goes from there. But I did think they both spoke very well, and yes, looking forward to their reign over the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, I think you're looking at 10 years, mate. I think that's probably what they're looking at. I think they'll have an idea for the next 5, and then they'll have a year for a plan for the next 5 under that. And it made reference to having plans and sticking to plans and not having egos involved, and decisions being made at the right levels by the right people, and that nobody's kind of out of touch. Like the fans could make a decision, for example, if it's something that would be the best for the football club, then they're not scared to make that decision, which is brilliant. Honestly, I think everything they said is good. It really is good. Linda McLean, thank you so much for becoming a member. Honestly, really appreciate that. It's brilliant to see so much support for us being back as well. Really do appreciate that. And just on what we're talking about there, Skeggy Bear said talk is cheap. Talk is cheap, but 20 million isn't it, mate? 20 million is not cheap. So for me, they're putting their money where their mouth is right now, and I think generally that's just the start of it. I don't think they'll be scared to do what they have to do in order to make us a successful part of their enterprise. At the end of the day, that's what they want. They don't want us to be their Achilles heel. They want us to be a functioning, profitable business that will make them money at the end of the day. And the only way to make a football club make a lot of money is to win things and to be competitive in European competitions, and it's what we all want. I know the money in football, in Scottish football, is not massive, but it doesn't need to be massive for them to make this profitable for them. The player trading money will be crucial. The competitions, winning domestic football competitions, will be paramount, as well as progressing as far as we can in European competitions. Is that not what we all want as Rangers fans? Isn't that what we go to Rangers for? To see big silver shiny things waved at us at the end of a season? Because that's what I go for. It's exactly what I go for, and we've been starved of it for far too long. So everything they said, I'm like, yeah, I'm up for that. I'm absolutely up for that. So I thought they spoke very well, and we'll wait and see what comes in terms of the plans and different things. I'd imagine this ever evolving kind of takeover, it's going to go on and on and on. And in terms of Marathi saying patience, I do think there will be an element of that, but I don't think they'll be scared to go right. Let's get on with things, and let's make this happen as quickly as possible for them. So, and even you can link it back to Russell Martin's comments about winning while developing, which I think is crucial. We should be competitive, we should be winning games of football, we should be winning trophies, and we should be continuing to develop the squad in order to be more competitive in Europe, etc. That's the perfect model, and that's again what we all want to see. And now we have, I mean, as I say, I can't remember where was it that Kevin Robb just said this is the kind of money that they come from. Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. Again, never heard of the guy. Generally, I've never heard of him. He signed a 10-year contract for $503 million. Well, I mean,
the money over in that American sports is ridiculous.
That is mental, absolutely mental. So yeah, I mean, this is the business these guys are involved in, and I'm not saying before any moonhowler comes in and says that we're going to get that invested into. No, we're not. I know we're not, but I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing for them to be coming from when they're dealing with that sort of cash. That is for absolute sure. We'll move on now. Finish up probably with the release of the third kit, and there it is there in case you haven't seen it. I know everybody has seen it, but that is what the new third strip is to look like. Ali, we were discussing just before we came on air that I went and bought the home top. Now obviously I got it framed, etc. But Scotia's wearing it just now as well. This top, mate, I'm not going to lie, I really like it. As soon as I seen it, I thought, yes, I like the kind of black strips. I know it's kind of black and kind of greyish, if you like, but I like the black strip. Reminds me of the time we won the league under Walter with the black strip and the tenants in front of it with the wee red arms. It's kind of similar to that for me. So far, with the 3 strips that they've done, I like them. I really do like them, whether it's cast or Umbro combination of whatever. I just think it's a nice strip. There's probably going to be a 4th wild strip, I would imagine. But this one, what's your take on
it? I'm on the fence with it, if I'm being honest.
I'm interested to see what Curry says. I need to see what Curry says because he was waiting for me to say my opinion on it. Right, Curry, I've just said that I really like it. So when are you going to say it?
Curry will hate it. I can tell.
He will hate it. He will. He'll hate it. Yeah, he will.
But no, like we were talking, I was in Braehead the other day and walked past the Castore shop. Now, I've not actually bought the home top. I'll go down and buy it next week down at Ibrox, but I went and seen it in the away top. I like the away top. I think the away top's nice. I do like that. It was the kind of thing I thought it was smart. The home top, I like the collar as well. So obviously, Scotia's got on now, but no, the material feels good, which we were talking about too. But I'll need to see the black one in person. The photos sometimes don't do it justice when you see them. It's like the away top. When I seen the away top at first, and the photos, I wasn't sure. And then when I seen it the other day there, I thought, no, I like that. So I'll reserve judgment till I physically see it. It was interesting to see that Igaman was one of the models of the top for the first and last time I'll ever see Igaman in that top. So, aye, that's what it is. It's a black top. I remember Scotia had a right cracking black top from, was it Hummel, Scotia? The black edition one I think you had.
Yeah,
I think you still got it.
That was the... I've still got it. It's all the all black ones, like the sponsorship and stuff was all black as well, yeah.
It was good because Scotia could wear that to the game but still get into pubs in the town because they didn't know it was a Rangers top. So it was an ideal one because you couldn't see the Rangers on it pretty much. But I'll wait till I see it. But I mean, I like black tops to be fair. So yeah, will I buy it? Probably not. I only usually buy one top for the season. So I'll wait maybe to January till it drops to about 30 quid or something.
Look, 80 quid for a top is expensive. I'm not going to get away from and pretend that it isn't. It is very expensive. It's how it's going just now, though. I mean, it won't be far away until the top's 100 quid, and unfortunately, that's just the way of the world. I think some tops are much more pricey than what others are. Don't get me wrong, but I agree that we're now at the point where I'm like, that's too much. That is too much. When I went and bought my one, it was kind of part of my birthday as well. So I was like, when I bought the home top, I thought that kind of softens the blow a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Scotia, your thought on the top, and it is, I suppose we'll talk about the price, it is getting a bit ridiculous now, isn't it? Like, you can't ask people, I mean, that's what, if you were to buy all 3 tops, you're talking 220 quid, is that right? Can I do quick maths that quickly? 240 quid. 240 quid for 3 tops. I mean, you don't need to buy all 3, don't get me wrong, but when they bring out ones I quite like, I'm like, that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, the top, it's all 3 tops I quite really like. I was up in Glasgow earlier in the week there, and popped into the Rangers store and ended up opting for this top. I'd confess, I did actually go up and thought to myself, oh, the new third kit will be out. I'll go up and get that because I quite like a black top, as you know. But it wasn't there. But I decided I didn't actually buy the home kit last season. I've just got the away one, so I decided, bugger it, I'll shell out the money and get the home top this season. And I do quite like it. We're speaking off air. It's actually got a quite good feel to it. It's heavier than the tops that I've had previously the last couple of seasons. It's got a better weight to it, I feel. Quite like it. But yeah, I enjoy it. All 3 kits to me look good. I'll quite like to see the black one in person because it always does look slightly different from pictures to in person. But I'll probably be getting it at some point this season. But like some people have mentioned in the comments there, I'm going to wait till the price of those ones come down because it is £80 for a top is getting ridiculous, I think. And that's just for myself. I mean, I'm lucky. I need to worry about buying it for Wayne's or anything like that.
That's why Ali's the godfather to my son, mate, because Ali can just buy my son one. It's his kind of job to do that, isn't it? That's why I've done it. So I'll use Ali's money for that. Look, we've got a wee bit of time here, so I'm going to quickly address something I didn't really want to do, but I'm going to do it. I just seen Stray Cat pick your best 11 players of all time, and I'm sure they'll come from the Murray. I'll never forget. See, on that, I completely appreciate the fact that David Murray, when he was in charge of Rangers, I was privileged to see players like Brian Laudrup, like Paul Gascoigne, keep naming them, Arthur Newman, like Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, we could go on and on and on. And I do respect that. Honestly, 100%, I can completely respect that we seen 9-0 under him. I grew up in a privileged time watching Rangers, and I know what I came from. It will never excuse his decision to do what he done. It will never excuse that. He decided to give this club to Craig White. It is his fault. His, want for a better term, his bollocks around that he knew nothing about Craig White is just that. He is at it. He is talking absolute nonsense. He's a shrewd businessman from top to bottom. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what was coming, and he ran. And that's why I will not have anything to do with David Murray on this podcast. Ali, is that fair? Are you in the same lines as that?
Yeah, I mean, for what he did, I know what he's saying in terms of when we grew up, we witnessed what you've just rounded off there, Carney, and fantastic players come to Rangers. I listened to the 14, 15-minute interview with Ewan Cameron today. It's part 1. I think there's a couple of other parts to come with it. And he said the Craig White thing. And Ewan Cameron, to be fair to him, actually said to David Murray that I've known you for years and years and years, and you run successful businesses. You're a good judge of character. How could you not judge him? That's what he put to him, which I thought was quite a good question.
Which is absolutely spot on as well.
Yeah, it was. And David's, I know a lot of the guys have probably watched it. David Murray's comment back to it was Craig White had proof of funds to buy Rangers. He was going to put something in the region of $5 million in a year into Rangers. He was going to put an initial investment of, I think it was about $7 million into Rangers. It never happened. He also said that I think it was 7 months into Craig White's sort of reign, he met him in Monaco, of all places, which I thought, right, Monaco,
of course.
Yeah, and he chinned him and said, "Well, what's going on? Where's the money? Why are you not putting it in?" And apparently, he was showing a lawyer's letter again, proof of funds in terms of it was coming. So that's what he's saying. He's got a book out. He's going to say in his book, apparently, here he is, Justin Moore. Thanks very much, Justin. God bless America. And we'll see you soon, Justin. Justin's been messaging us in the background in terms of his adventures over the same neck of the woods. When he's over, unfortunately, Rangers aren't playing, which is probably a good thing for you, Justin, to be fair. So
Scotia will take you to Hampden. You'll love it. I'm telling you,
Scotia will take you a Scotland game.
You'll love it.
But I know, in terms of David, I know we weren't going to talk about it, but I listened to the 15-minute interview today, and that's what he said. And he said he apologised to Rangers fans. He said he's apologised before in terms of So he's going to say what he said. Basically, he's not going to come out and say, "I made a complete arse of it and I apologise and I did this and I deliberately sold Rangers because I had to get out." He made reference to the financials back then in terms of the Bank of Scotland crashed and another bank crashed as well and all these things. So he made reference to a lot of that, but to sell it to Craig White, and we know what happened, put us back. Well, look where we are now. We should be nowhere near where we are now. And you look at the trophies we've won since 2011 when he came in, nowhere near it. Rangers should be winning trophies every season. So, it is what it is. I've not got any time for him. I'll be honest. But as a young boy growing up, I did get to see a good football team in the park.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I'm not saying it wasn't.
No, I know. And his famous statement of, for every £5 Celtic spend, I'll spend a tenner.
Yeah.
Come back and bite him. And he was asked about the EPTs and stuff and all that. I mean, you go and listen to it. It's up to people. Go and listen to it. It's there. There's going to be other parts of it. I thought Ewan Cameron did quite well for Ewan Cameron. But it is what it is. But I just want to look to the future. I don't want to look to the past.
I mean, that's a perfect way to sum it up, mate. It really is. Gio, 1972, thank you so much for becoming a member. Really appreciate all the support tonight, everybody. It's good to be back on the old channel. It really is. Scotia, I probably know what you're going to say about the whole situation with money. Do you agree with my kind of stance on it, the way that I feel about it? Yes, I loved growing up and I loved watching Rangers when I was growing up, but it will never excuse what he done, and everything that he says now to me is just waffle and hot air.
Connie, I've not watched anything about the interview that came out today.
I didn't watch it.
I've heard very tiny wee snippets when like the news channel's been on and stuff, but I've not went out my way to watch it. I've been too busy with more important things than that. But no, I'm similar to you. I can turn around and say yes, I done that. Yes, you did, but ultimately, what you done at the very end is going to define how we feel about you.
Yep.
And again, I've already mentioned it today, but I'll mention it again. And you've probably listened to it as well. There's some stuff on Heart and Hand that David Edgar done.
It's very good. It's
very good and insightful. And get it from someone that actually had dealings with him. Obviously, we haven't. No, to be honest, you've given him far more airtime than I thought you were going to see.
I mean, it's only because we got towards the end, mate. I did, and I seen somebody saying never forget that. I was like, well, I do, and I thought I'll address it. And it's like, again, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I was very privileged growing up watching Rangers. I was, and I seen some incredible players play for our team. But as I say, I'll say it for the third time, that it will never excuse what he done. It will never, ever excuse what David Murray done. And if he wants to sit there and pretend that he didn't know what Craig White was going to do at the club and he didn't know what was round the corner, then he's a liar. He's an absolute liar. We all know it. So if you want to believe Dave Murray, that's your prerogative. Of course it is. I don't believe a single word the guy has to say. That will do us for tonight, everybody. Again, thank you so much for all the donations, all the people joining as members as well. Even if you're coming back or if you're new to it, then thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. It's good to be back where we belong. This one feels pretty good. And remember, go over and check out our Off the Pitch channel as well. That'll kick off properly into full gear once we get back to the football. You'll be able to see different bits from us, something that's completely different from just our standard podcast anyway. It wouldn't really fit into this, so we decided to keep the channel on because it was about 16, nearly 1,700 people already on that channel, which is mental that you all wanted to show that support. But it's honestly, appreciate it so much. Ali, for tonight, thank you very much, mate, and enjoy your birthday dinner and your pint that's probably going to cost you a tenner when you order it, mate. At least somebody else will probably pay for you. In fact, no, they won't. They'll use your money. Of course they will. What am I thinking?
No, my best. It's on her, apparently. I'll need to return the favour when it's her birthday in September. But no, look forward to it. It was good to be back in the channel. It was good to be able to look at the comments and stuff here and kind of see what's going on, because the last one I couldn't see anything. Obviously, the other channel, the behind the scenes, if you want to say, of the podcast. Obviously, you come around from a 40th, which is quite cool. I know we do have a trip, if you want to call it, coming up soon, where we're all on doing the water, if you want to say. I know that's.
Oh, we could do that. Well, we could do that. That's a good idea.
Whether you
That
do
could be
it back,
dangerous.
me and Scotia have been on this several
We
times.
might do the start. I might do the start of it. I might do the
Yeah.
start. Maybe not
Yeah.
towards the end. Yeah.
It could be very interesting. I think subscribers could rapidly
It's my
rise
first time
on the
coming
back
with
of
you
that.
boys doing it, to be fair. It's my first time coming with you, so it'll be interesting.
It's a very good trip. It starts at 9:30 in the morning and it gets back in Glasgow at 7:30 at night. It is me and Scotia have done it every year for the past, I don't know, Scotia, 8 years or something. I vaguely remember getting off it. So it will be a good day. It's the 12th of July as well that it leaves too.
What happens on the 12th, Ali? What are you
Don't know.
referring to there, Alistair?
Yeah, apparently Scotia's bringing a drum with him, so we'll see what happens. But no, that could be one for other channel and other bits and bobs we do too. But no, good to be back tonight. And yes, hopefully by the time we do this next week, there'll be some signings in the door as well.
Fingers crossed, mate. And Scotia, 2 weeks in a row, mate. And I'm not sick of the sight of you. Yeah, it's great to have you back, mate. It really is.
Oh.
Tonight was a proper 3 OGs back sitting down where it all started, mate, really.
Not ruined my welcome yet, Carney, not yet. No, it was a pleasure being on again. Enjoyable, as I say. Apologies, I didn't actually do much in the way of prep this week, but I think just sitting talking about it, it's getting me more and more wanting to go and looking, back into digging into all things transfer related, and like you say, hopefully it does start ramping up next week. And then obviously we've got the game a week on Sunday, so well, I need to go and buy my ticket, but
Same.
That's something to look forward to.
Still not done it, mate. I do need to go and do that as well. I'll do that when I come off of here. So yeah, again, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for coming back to this channel. Please go check out our new channel as well. As I said, we will bring you some different content over on that channel as well. And yeah, it's been a real pleasure to be back. It really is good to be back where it all started and where we probably belong. Let's be honest, didn't feel right on a new channel, so it's good to be back here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. Again, members, amazing support and all your donations, generally fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will be back next week with Club Live. I am trying to sort something out with Stevie as well to do something with a crossover with 4 Lads, because it has been a while. So I'm in contact with Stevie. We'll try and get something sorted, whether it's on his channel or my channel. It'll be on all our socials. You'll get to see it. Yes, thank you for listening to us three. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and we'll speak to you all next time. Cheers, everybody.